Mata Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadramai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Gurudev Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koji Vaishnava Vrinda ki Gaura Premanande Om Namam Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namam Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namam Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrityam Narancheva Naruttamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasa Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nastavaye Sabhabdresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhaktir Vai Vidinastiki. So today we are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam and second canto, chapter 9, text 45. Narada Prahamunaye Sarasvatyastate Nripa Yayate Brahma Paramam Vyasayamita Tejase Narada Prahamunaye Sarasvatyastate Nripa Tayate Brahma Paramamam Yasayamita Tejase Narada Prahamunaye Sarasvatyastate Nripa Yayate Brahma Paramam Yasayamita Tejase Narada, the great sage Narada, Praha, instructed, Munaye, into the great sages, Sarasvatya, of the river Sarasvati, Tate, on the bank, Nripa, O king, Dhyayate, unto the meditative, Brahma, absolute truth, Paramam, the supreme, Vyasaya, unto Srila Vyasadeva, Amita, unlimited, Tejase, into the powerful. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Jagaguru Srila Prabhupada. In succession, O King, the great sage Narada instructed Srimad Bhagavatam into the unlimitedly powerful Vyasadeva, who meditated in devotional service upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth, on the bank of the river Saraswati. Please repeat after me. In succession, O king, the great sage Narada instructed Srimad Bhagavatam unto the unlimitedly powerful Vyasadeva, who meditated in devotional service upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth, on the bank of the river Saraswati. Purport. In the 5th chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Narada instructed the great sage Vyasa as follows: Hato maha bhavam bhavam namo gadrik suchi shrava satyarato drita vrataha urukramaya kila bandha muktaye samadhina sunusmaratad vichestitam. O greatly fortunate, pious philosopher, your name and fame are universal, and you are fixed in the absolute truth, with spotless character and infallible vision. I ask you to meditate upon the activity of the personality of Godhead, whose activities are unparalleled. So, in the disciple succession of Brahma Sampradaya, the practice of yoga meditations is not neglected. But because the devotees are bhakti yogi, they do not undertake the trouble to meditate upon the impersonal Brahman. As indicated here, they meditate on Brahma Paramam, or the Supreme Brahman. Brahman realization begins from the impersonal effulgence, but by further progress of such meditation, manifestation of the Supreme Soul, Paramatma realization takes place. And progressing further, realization of the Supreme Personal Godhead is fixed. Sri Narada Muni, as the spiritual master of Vyasadeva, knew very well the position of Vyasadeva, and thus he certified the quality of Srila Vyasadeva as fixing in the absolute truth, with great vow, etc. Narada advised meditation upon the transcendental activity of the Lord. Impersonal Brahman has no activity, but the personality of Godhead has many activities, and all such activities are transcendental without any tinge of material quality. If the activities of the Supreme Brahman were material activity, then Narada would not have advised Vyasadeva to meditate upon them. And the Param Brahma is Lord Sri Krishna, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, in the 10th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. When Arjuna realized the factual position of Lord Krishna, he addressed Lord Krishna in the following words. Maybe we can chant together if you know this slogan. Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram Paramam Bhavam, Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adideva Maja Vibhu, Haustram Risaye Sarve, Devarshi Naradatata, Asito Deva Lavyasa Swayam Chaiva Bravishime. Arjuna summarized the purpose of the Bhagavad Gita by his realization of Lord Sri Krishna, and thus say, My dear personality of Godhead, you are the supreme absolute truth, the original person in the eternal form of bliss and knowledge. And this is confirmed by Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasadeva. And above all, your personal self has also confirmed it. Bhagavad Gita 10, 12, 13. When Vyasadeva fixed his mind in meditation, he did it in Bhakti Yoga trance and actually saw the Supreme Person with Maya, the illusory energy, in contraposition. As we have discussed before, the Lord's Maya, or illusion, is also representation because Maya has no existence without the Lord. Darkness is not independent of light. Without light, no one can experience the contraposition of darkness. However, this Maya, or illusion, cannot overcome the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but stand apart from Him. Apashrayam. Therefore, perfection of meditation is realization of the Personality of Godhead, along with its transcendental activity. Meditation of the impersonal Brahman is a troublesome business for the meditator, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 12.5. Klesho dikataras tesam avyakta tashakta chetasam. I read again the translation. In succession, O king, the great sage Narada instructed Srimad Bhagavatam into the unlimitedly powerful Vyasadeva, who meditated in devotional service upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth, of the bank of the river Sarasvati. Om Ajnana Dhirvinandasya Jnana Shalakaya Chakshurum Nitamena Tasma Sri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Sri Mate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Sarasvati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pasattade Satarine Vanchakalpakarubhyasta Kripasindu Vyavebhacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Shri Gaura Bhattavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I pray to Srila Prabhupada and the beautiful deity of Shri Radha Gopinath and Shri Gaurnitai and Jagannath Subhadra Baladev, that I may speak some suitable word which inspire your devotional service from your heart. So this is a beautiful sloga of the Srimad Bhagavatam, and I personally went to this place actually on Himalaya where there is a cave. The Gua is called, Vyasadeva Gua. I don't know if you've been there, but when you go to Badrinath and Gangotri, Jamunotri, all these four dham, there is this place you visit, is a place where Vyasadeva sat down and meditate. It's just a cave, under the mountain like this. Now, of course, they built the wall and the door, but there was no wall or door originally. So it's a beautiful place, and you can see the old river Saraswati is flowing down. Very beautiful, very wonderful place. And we went, by the blessing of Srila Prabhupada, we went there and paid obeisance and prayed to Vyasadeva to bless us with the powerful devotional vibration by which we can inspire the whole world. So Narada Muni went and instructed Vyasadeva, although Vyasadeva is an incarnation of the Lord, but it's so beautiful that the Lord is becoming subordinate to the devotees. So, and of course Vyasadeva was an accomplished scholar because he presented so many scriptures, but yet he was not completely satisfied in his art. So when then Narada Muni instructed him to please show the real activity and pastimes of the Lord, which are unlimited, and by such a work he will become completely satisfied in his heart. So this is a great blessing for us, because then we can actually meditate on these beautiful pastimes of the Lord, which are constantly going on from one universe to another universe to another universe. Srila Prabhupada explained it's like a theatrical act. Like in a theater, you are having these actors, they're doing, so many shows for so many months, and every day they're showing the same thing. And of course, we sometimes ask, does Krishna don't get tired, or does Krishna not feel like it's boring? But no, but he's feeling completely ecstatic in this pastime, because it involves the devotees of the Lord who want to participate in this pastime and enjoying this rasa, in this association with the Supreme Lord. And so Yoga Maya arranged all these different pastimes that, even though there is a repetition every day, like His Holiness Bhanu Swami was explaining the other day that in the spiritual world, every day Krishna gets up and he takes a bath, and every day he's performing the same pastimes. So again, we ask, is not Krishna feeling like, every day I'm doing the same thing? No, it's that Yogamaya is arranging, and everybody feels ever fresh. They don't remember what happened yesterday. And even though there is the sunrise and the sunset, that every day is ever fresh. So this is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. Sometimes people ask, are you not tired of chanting Hare Krishna? No, we are chanting for so many years. No, we are not tired. We get Anandam Buddhi Vardhamam. Yes, there is unlimited bliss, unlimited happiness in serving and in speaking about Krishna and remembering Krishna. So in this particular sloka we see how Vyasadeva is able, he is being empowered to quote 18,000 sloka. Brahma received 4 sloka, the Chatusloki. And from there Vyasadeva expanded into 18,000 sloka. This is an amazing feat. Also, the most beautiful thing is that everything is there in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Sometimes people go to Netflix or see some film, action film, whatever. But if you read the Bhagavatam, it's much more entertaining than all these films. These films, that actually, when you observe them, there is also some violence, some sex, some thieves, some emotion, but it's always the same. But here, in the wonderful pastime of Krishna, Krishna is performing unlimited pastime with his cowboy and cow friends, with the cows, with Mother Jasoda, with Nanda Maharaj, and all the inhabitants of Vrindavan, who has a personal relationship with the Supreme Personality of God. So now we have forgotten, in Maya, we've forgotten our relationship with the Lord, and so we are trying to revive our dormant Krishna consciousness, which is already there in the heart of all living entity. This is the beautiful thing. It's not that we have to take something and put it inside the heart. It's already there. It's just covered by this Maya. Maya Sukham, he says. This so-called happiness of friendship, family, and love. In the material world, we see people that are so much engaged in trying to find some happiness. But it's like chewing the chewed. Sometimes we see the cow in Mayapur, we have sugar cane. Devotee is making nice sugar cane for all the devotee and he's throwing all. After they squeeze it 10 times, there is no one drop. In India, they're very expert in squeezing the juice. Of course, now they have a new machine which is made in Malaysia, which has 3 rolls, so you only put it once, and all the juice come out. Still, the devotee, they put it a few more times, because just in case. And the cow and the bull, sometimes they come, and they try to chew that, because they can smell the sweetness of the sugar cane. But there is no juice, but still they try to. There's something. So likewise, in the material world, people, unfortunately, they're trying to squeeze some pleasure from Maya, from this illusion. But because it's only a shadow, Srila Prabhupada explained, this is a shadow of the spiritual world, it's a perverted reflection. Now, of course, when Acharya dwelled into this, what is shadow and what is illusion? The shadow means that there is something which creating a shadow, because if that thing was not there, it would not be created. An illusion is something which is not existing, mirage. Like sometimes when we drive in the desert, from far away we can see like there is like water, I don't know if you have experience with this driving. Sometimes we drive in Rajasthan, or we drive, here in Australia there's a big desert. So sometimes you drive and there is a reflection kind of, look like water. Okay, you go there is a lake or something. But you go there and there's nothing. It's just a reflection of the sun and the evaporation of water, for example. So in Maya, people think, I'm going to be happy if I'm going to get a new car. I'm going to be happy if I'm going to get a new girlfriend. Or I'm going to be happy if I'm going to get new this, new that, new cloth, whatever. And they're chasing these carrots like a donkey. The donkey has been covered with cloth from the washerman. He's carrying few hundred kilo cloth. And the washerman is walking in front with a stick with a carrot. And the donkey is walking, thinking, I'm going to catch this carrot, I'm going to catch this carrot, I'm going to catch this carrot. And walks for a mile in the sun, not catching the carrot because along with him, the man is walking. So similarly, the people, unfortunately, they are in this illusion of thinking, I'll find some pleasure tomorrow. I'll find some pleasure next year. I'll find some pleasure next month. Somehow or another I'll find some pleasure. Why? Because we are seeking for pleasure. The soul, the nature of the soul is to be seeking for happiness, for pleasure. That's our own true intrinsic nature of the soul. But unfortunately we are looking into a wrong place, in the wrong destination, in the wrong job, in the wrong person. There's so many people that get so frustrated in this relationship, for example, because we project, our imagination on this person. We think he's very beautiful, she's very wonderful, or he's very wonderful, but then we discover he was an ordinary person, was nothing special, but it's just our projection, our expectation. Yes. So Maya is so powerful that is also one of the energy of the Lord. Here Vyasadeva is saying meditate on the Lord, and he saw Maya, and he saw the Lord. So the Lord is in front of Maya. And Prabhupada explained, there is no question of experiencing darkness unless there is a sun. But nothing can stand, no darkness can stand in front of the sun. Yes? And in the top of BTG, there is one line. You remember? God is light, and where there is light, there is no darkness. There's a small line on top of the BTG. Back to Godhead. So, ultimately, Krishna is supremely effulgent. And Maya acts for those conditioned souls, which are only 1/4 of the creation of the Supreme Lord, who want to be in illusion. Now, of course, we all ask ourselves, okay, how did I come here? How am I in illusion? How am I in Maya? Somehow or another, anadi, it's impossible for us to understand, because now we are conditioned by time and space, past, present, future. But Bhanu Maharaj, His Holiness, explained, when you go back to Godhead, you will understand everything. And almost it will be like you wake up from a dream where you had a nightmare. Sometimes we have a nightmare and then we feel a tiger chasing me, it's biting me, and we feel pain. I'm going to die, then we wake up. Oh, thank God, it was only a nightmare. It was only a dream. So like that, when we go back to the spiritual world, it will look like, oh my God, I have this dream. The material world that spent millions of lifetimes trying to be happy, trying to become this, trying to become that. And I went through so many species, 8,400,000 different species of life. But now finally I'm here with you, my Lord. And then Krishna embraces you and say, where have you been so long? I was waiting for you. I was looking for you. Oh. So this is so beautiful. But, so understanding that Maya is very powerful, and Maya is representation in the material world by Durga Devi. In Bengal, we have a very famous puja, Durga Puja. They build big, huge pandal with this big, huge form of Durga Devi with a trident in trying to kill the demon. Actually, this trident, Srila Prabhupada explained, is the representation of the suffering of the living entity. Adhyatmika, Adibodhika, Adidevika. So these three energies are inflicting pain into the living entity. Yeah, suffering coming from our own mind and our own body, suffering coming from other living entity, mosquitoes, snake, tax collector, and suffering coming from this Mother Nature, earthquake, flood. Now we have a flood in Molambar, and they send us the video. There is so much water. Just in a few days, it was normal. And then certainly it rained for a few days without stopping, and there is floods, and there is everything is becoming full of water, or too much sun. So these three agents of Durga Devi, they are keeping everybody busy in this material world. She is the superintendent of this material jail. We are like in jail. It's a nice jail. Of course, Australia is a nice jail compared to, Africa or India or other place, because you have a nice facility, nice roads, nice infrastructure, nice people. You walk in the street, how are you doing, mate? So no problem. No one is stealing your things. Nobody is harassing you. There's not too many people, so you have to push yourself into. If you go to, for example, you travel from Mayapur to Calcutta in the regular train, most probably it's an experience that you'll never forget in your life. Or if you go in Bombay train when there is crowd, then you'll be squeezed. Squeeze means you will come out of the train with less few kilos because there's so many people pushing you. But, it's a jail nevertheless. In our mind and our body, that's a jail. We are confined. We want to be happy, we want to do so many things, but we cannot because our body is limiting us. We want to experience great happiness, but we cannot. We want to enjoy, even if we enjoy prasada. But we cannot enjoy so much, we become too fat. Or we get sick, or we fall asleep all day. So these Romans at that time, 2,000 years ago, when I went to Rome, I was showing my wife the beautiful Colosseum. Is where they used to fight, and they were fighting with a tiger, they were gladiators fighting against each other. And so in each aisle there's a vat which looked like a tub. And my wife asking me, what is this? And then on top was written, vomatorium, in Latin. Okay, vomatorium means it's a place where you go and vomit. Because some people would be feeling scared and turn the stomach upside down. Some people will enjoy, blood, kill the guy, whatever. But some people will feel very, puking. So there's a vomatorium there. And of course, also the great rich people, they use this vomatorium in their villa because they used to eat and they want to enjoy more. So they go outside of the room and they put the finger in their throat, they vomit, they wash their mouth, and then they go and start and eat again. Great sense enjoyer, right? The great culture of sense enjoyer. So, but it doesn't matter. Whatever you do in this material world, you can never be happy. We are like fish out of the water. We take a fish out of the water, we tell Maria Fish, I'm going to give you a Ferrari, I'm going to give you a bottle of Johnny Walker, and I'm going to give you a nice motorcycle, and I'm going to give you all this beautiful cake. Will the fish be happy? He's flipping around. Please put me back in the water. I don't want these things. Put me back in the water. Because the fish cannot live without the water. So similarly, we as a living entity, we are flipping around in this material world. Sometimes as Brahma in Brahmaloka, sometimes in Patalaloka, sometimes in this body, in that body. We keep on flipping around and trying to squeeze some happiness. But we are not happy. We are always miserable. Even though we look happy. Some people, you meet them, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. I have a good job, I have a nice car, I have a nice house. But then what? What is going to happen to you when you become old and when you're going to die? Therefore, atato brahma jigyasa, now we must inquire about the absolute truth. Ramanujacharya give 108 explanation on this sloga. Atato Brahma Jigyasa. He said, Atato means now. Now you must inquire. And that now he explained in so many different levels. Now that you are a human being, now you have a power of discernment, now that you can understand, now that you are able to accept the guru, now you are able to understand the spiritual subject matter. So, now means we as human, we can understand. If we are cow, a dog, or cat, cannot. We can bring all the Sydney, there is no dog here, I don't see any dog walking. No, we can bring some animal or whatever, and try to preach to them, but they cannot understand. So we as human can. Therefore, we have this greatest gift to give to the whole population of the world. That's why we go out and distribute books. That's how we're trying to inspire everybody to come to our temple, come to our congregation, or take some prasadam. And there are festivals, always so many festivals going on, so that we can attract some conditioned soul to accept this scientific devotional process of devotional service. So, one devotee was telling that sometimes when you're sick, your friends say, yeah, you should go and see the doctor. Yes? So, actually, we don't go and see the doctor. We want to show ourselves to the doctor. The doctor sees us and tell us, what is wrong with us. So similarly, we are coming to here to this beautiful, exotic Shri Radha Gopinath temple, Shri Gaurnita and Jagannath Subhadra Baladev, and the Lord sees us. There's a beautiful pastimes. Like there was one devotee that every year used to go to Ratha Yatra in Jagannath Puri from Mayapur. I'm talking about a few hundred years ago where there was no car, no train, no airplane. So people used to go by walk. It will take them a couple of months because it's 600 kilometers. So every day if you walk 5-10 kilometers, 15 kilometers, how much you can walk, So they would go in a group and walking and going to Jagannath temple. So this devotee became very old, used to go every year. So he told the other devotee, he became blind. So he told the devotee, please, Prabhuji, please take me to Jagannath Puri, for Ratha Yatra. So the devotee said, why you want to go to Jagannath Ratha Yatra? You are blind, you cannot see anymore anything, so what's the point? He said, no, you see, I have seen many times Jagannath, now I become blind. But the Lord can see me, that I have come from so far. So the Lord will be happy. So similarly, when we come in front of the deity, we think, oh, we are seeing the Lord. But the Lord is seeing us also. And so we can pray to the Lord, my dear Lord, by your glance you are creating the whole material universe. By your glance you are doing so many wonderful things. So please, by your glance, remove all the impurity from my heart so that I can perceive you all the time. Because the devotee who perform bhakti yoga, they can link everything with Krishna. Because there is nothing outside of Krishna's creation. So when we see the tree, we think, oh, there's a spirit soul inside this tree. And if that has nice flower or nice fruits, we can think, okay, let me take some and offer to the Lord. Whatever we see, other living entity, we see there's a soul inside each jiva, who are unfortunately in different body, who are not connected to the Lord, so let me connect them. So everything we see, we can see in the perspective of devotion. Premanjana charita bhakti vilochanena. So we have to develop and put ointment on our eyes so we can actually see everything connected to the Lord. In that way, we can become very happy and we can become very safe because the Lord is always protecting His devotee. The Lord is always with us. So the Lord has a competition. The devotee wants to serve the Lord And the Lord wants to protect the devotees. When Prahlad Maharaj was seeing everything in Krishna consciousness, when his father said that, you see God in this pillar? He said, yes, he is there also. And then when Hiranyakashipu broke the pillar, the Lord came out. When Prahlad was thrown from the mountain peak, his father tried to kill him in so many ways. He was not thinking, oh, okay, the Lord will come and save me. No, he was just thinking of Krishna. And Krishna came and saved him. In all the different situations, he was always connecting everything with the Lord, with Krishna. Because factually, there cannot be anything outside of Krishna. He is the creator of everything. He is the master of all yoga. Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan. When Arjuna saw the universal form of the Lord, then he realized, oh, you are not just my friend, you are that Supreme Personality, your God who created everything, who destroys everything, who maintains everything. And then he does it again and again and again. So you are that Parameshwar. All the yogis are meditating on you, but you are now in front of me. So, for the devotee is the same thing. Because the devotee develop this affinity of serving Krishna constantly, in whatever situation, in whatever difficulty, in whatever problem, in whatever happiness. So much so that some devotee, I remember in the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, there's some devotee who is fanning the Lord and he's feeling like crying. He's thinking, why am I crying? You know, because I cannot see properly. This ecstasy is a disturbance for me. So many great devotees show us so many different ways or how we can surrender to the Lord. And beautiful enough, the Lord is sitting in our very heart. So He's guiding us all the time. And He's giving a process is the same for everybody, but everybody has slightly different relationship with the Lord. So the Lord is personally guiding, the devotee to the ultimate goal of life, because Krishna became very eager to meet us, even though we are insignificant. Yes, yesterday we went to see the ocean, and it's called the place where there is water coming out from the rock. What is it called? The blowhole. Yeah, so you see just the power of the ocean is so powerful, And then we look in the sky in the night and think, I am very small, I am very insignificant. Yet the Lord is in my heart and He's guiding me out of affection and love. How beautiful is that Lord. And how beautiful that is in the living entity, all the living entity in this material world. Krishna is constantly reminding them, accompanying them, try to bring them closer to Him. So that's our Lord. That's the beauty of Krishna. How beautiful He is. It's so beautiful. It's so wonderful. It's so attractive that we cannot resist, but simply by chanting His holy name we can feel His presence. Simply by performing devotional service we can feel the connection. Sometime in our farm in Mugulambar, New Govardhan farm, we engage this volunteer to come and do service. So sometimes they cut potato, they do this and that. And they all say the same thing, I'm feeling so happy. I say, yes, because you're not just cutting potato. You are cutting potato for Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And whatever you do, the Lord gives you unlimited bliss. Knowingly or unknowingly. There's a beautiful pastimes in South India. There were a bunch of thieves, 10 of them. So they go to this Vishnu temple and they see that it has a beautiful golden helmet, bad check with diamond and precious stones. So they thought, okay man, let's make a plan. We'll come here in the night and we steal all the ornament of the Lord. Then we'll divide equally, no problem. Okay, they make a plan. They study the map of the temple, how to open the lock, which gate to come. So they go for a few days and they explore, make a proper plan. So in the night, when it's dark moon night, they're waiting, so it's completely dark. So no one can spot them. There's one person who's very expert in opening lock. So he opened the lock. In South India they have big lock, you know. You see the pujari go sometimes with this big chain with a lock. So they open the lock, they come inside, they open the Sanctum Sanctorum, the Lord is sleeping, and they steal all these things. They put them in gunny bags. But as they were going outside, the gunny bag broke, and the bell and all these beautiful things start to make noise. Then there was a chowkidar, there was a guard who got awakened. So he got awakened, he understood, he saw the people, raised the alarm. You know, in India, as soon as you raise the alarm, there are 500 people come out of their house to protect the Lord. So they capture all these guys, the thieves, and they beat them mercilessly. You know, each one give one slap, one punch, one kick, one stick. So basically all of them died. Because nobody killed them, but you say, I only give you one punch, and guys say, I only give you one kick. But there are 500 of them, continuously kicking and punching them and beating with a stick. So basically the people die. So when they die, they go back to Yamaloka. The Yamaduta took them. Okay, you guys are a bunch of thieves, rascal. You did so many sins, plus now you're stealing from the temple of Vishnu. So they bring them in front of Yamaraj, and Yamaraj say, nice catch today. But then as they were checking, you know, Chitragutta was checking, you know, he's the one who records all the sin of the people, the pops. And he's saying, my Lord, you know, if you want to read this, it's going to take a long time. These people, they're so nefarious. They're very bad people. But meanwhile, the Vishnu Dutta came. The Vishnu Dutta came and said, stop. I said, what happened now? He said, these people, they can go back to Vaikuntha. And the thief themselves, they look each other and surprised also. Wait, Vaikuntha? These beautiful people for alms, they are the representative of Vishnu. And then Yamaraj and Chitragupta ask, okay, what? I mean, according to our record here, you know, our software is telling us that there is a lot of pops. We don't see any punya, they didn't do anything. Well, the Vishnuda explained, well, see, when these people, they went inside the temple and they went through the rice field. And their feet was full of mud. So when they entered the Sanctum Sanctorum, there was some crack on the floor, on the marble floor, or granite. And by putting their feet, they repaired the temple of the Lord. So because the Lord is so great, these people, they done devotional service, so they qualified to go back home, back to God. And the thief themselves said, what? Really? And Yamaraj said, okay, whatever you say. So step in our airplane, we're going back to Vaikuntha. And everybody was shocked. So the Vishnuduta explained that for our Lord, any amount of insignificant service, the Lord take it very, very seriously. So these people unknowingly, they entered the temple and they closed the crack on the floor with the mud on their feet and become liberated. And they went to Vaikuntha. So how great is devotional service? Every day, all the devotees, they're chanting, they're attending Mangalarti, they're worshipping Tulsi Devi, they're taking only Krishna Prasada, they have a beautiful darshan of the Lord, and they do perform so many activities for the pleasure of the Lord. Therefore, the devotee, they're already liberated. Brahma Bhuta Prasana Atman Na Sochati Na Kanchadi. Srila Prabhupada explained, devotional service starts from the Brahma Bhuta stage. The devotee already realized Brahman, Paramatma, and now they are in the realization of Bhagwan. Because Prabhupada shows us the way. This is the form of the Lord, and He creates an international society for Krishna consciousness. All over the world, we can travel and we can meet family of people who are dedicated in the service of the Lord. It doesn't matter they're software engineer or they're hardware or whatever they're doing, but they're all connected to this devotional service. So what a great boon. Just think, around the world, continuously there's some Mongolarchy going on. Yeah? 50 years ago it was not like that. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati sent some of his disciples to preach, to Germany, to London, but they came back and they said, not possible, not possible. These people are too fallen. They eat meat, they eat cow meat. They cannot be converted, they cannot be preached also. They're all into drinking wine, enjoy life. But then Srila Prabhupada, by the blessing of Krishna, was sent to us. So that he established this international society. So all over the world, devotee or soul who are lost in the material world can reconnect themselves to devotional service to please the Lord. And then in the end of our short life, we can go back home, back to God. Srila Prabhupada said the demigods in the heavenly planet want to take birth on this planet this time. Because this is called the Golden Age, which is manifested from 500 years ago when Lord Chaitanya appeared. So simply by chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You simply chant, dance, and when you're tired, take some prasad, Prabhupada would say. So it's very susukam kartum avyayam. It's very joyfully performed, this devotional service. So easily anybody can perform it. In their home, in the house, wherever they are. They can always connect and meditate on the Lord. So this is the great boon we have, the great blessing we received from Srila Prabhupada and the previous Acharya. And now how we can make this other living entity who was sleeping in illusion. Jiv jago, Gora Chandra bole. So people are sleeping, in illusion, thinking, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to catch the carrot. I'm going to make more money. I'm going to buy a new house. I'm going to buy new BMW and Mercedes-Benz. But they're never going to be happy. So we are having a great responsibility to go and inspire these people to connect themselves with the Lord. See, we don't want everybody come and live in the temple. It's not possible. But we can train people in the temple. The priests, the devotees who live in the temple should be so inspiring, so qualified. And when people see them, they think, I want to be like him. How can I learn something from him? So how can I go back to my home and transform my life so that I can be happy? My family will be happy, my children will be happy, my grandfather, whoever it is connected with me will be happy. And that is the goal of our Krishna consciousness. We paradukha dukhi, the Vaishnava feel like great pain when they see other people suffering. And they feel great happiness when people are happy. So, the Vaishnava want to only spend their life and their time to try to inspire, this devotional service to other people. Try to connect them through giving books, to giving some prasadam, to giving some sweet words to people to understand Krishna consciousness. So, what time you want to finish the class? 9 o'clock tonight? None. It's okay. What time you finish the class usually? By this time? Okay, so I would like to conclude by thanking you very much for being here. Although you're not so many, but there is some people maybe watching in the internet. And if you have any question or if you have any comment, yes, Prabhuji. Sure.
So, Brahma said Brahma's body is made of intelligence. Because someone was reading this pastime of sacrifice being performed and all the offerings have been offered to the demigods.
Yes.
So Brahma's body is made of intelligence, so how do they eat? How do they eat offerings? Because his body is made of intelligence and not material senses, like we have.
Yeah, as far as I can only, there are different birds that fly at different heights. So as far as my knowledge goes, I will be able to explain. According to His Holiness Banaswami, he has a subtle body made of intelligence, of course, false ego, of course, and knowledge, of course. Just like we don't see the ghosts, but the ghosts are there, and what they eat. If you read the Garuda Purana, it says what they eat and how they eat. Or just like sometime in a Shraddha ceremony, we are offering to Krishna Prasad, and then we offer to our great-grandfather, and so how do they get that? So Bhanu Maharaj explained that the people we receive, it's not that they eat physically, because our consciousness now, we are in this body, so we only think, okay, we can only eat to this. But they will receive the benefit of eating Krishna Prasadam. So similarly, I don't know what Brahma eats, if he eats at all. Maybe he doesn't need to eat. Like some great yogi, they don't need to eat, they don't need to drink. But because he has a subtle body, we cannot perceive it. Even the demigods, Indra, they eat, but they have a different body. So how is their body manufactured? How is the body shaped? Can we see or not? I am not very 100% sure about this. But the only thing I can say that it's Krishna, of course, can eat with his eyes, can eat. His senses are interchangeable. So, and although Krishna doesn't need to eat, he accepts the food which we offer to the Lord, to him. So similarly, there's some demigods or we can see sometimes demigods, they're also influenced by illusion. Indra gets cursed, and he becomes a pig. So they must be having some kind of system by which is not understandable maybe by us, because Prabhupada explained, like for example, in the sun planet there are people who live there, but maybe their body is 99% fire, and 1% all the other things, so we cannot see them. Or in the moon, the people that have very subtle body, we cannot see them. Or like I say, the ghosts that have subtle body, we cannot see them. So like that, there are so many intricacies, how Brahma, well, we know that Brahma sleep, because when he's awake, there's a creation, and when he goes to sleep, everything goes boom. The Big Bang. It goes back into the temporary, dissolution of this planet. So I'm not aware, but I can find out from Bhanu Maharaj and ask him, and then we can find out if he eats spaghetti or pizza or tair sadam. I don't know what he eats, burger. I don't think so. They have gross senses like us. So I don't think they need to eat like us unless we eat. We cannot maintain our body. Their body maybe is maintained simply by their intelligence and their meditation on the Supreme Lord. But I may be wrong. Please forgive me. Any other question or comment? Okay, we go on. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Shri Shri Radha Gopinath ki, Shri Shri Gaurnitai ki, Shri Jagannath Subala Baldeva ki, Gaura Premanande.